There's a classic joke that claims there's only one fruitcake in the world, endlessly re-gifted from one holiday gathering to the next, making its rounds year after year. The punchline? Nobody dares eat it. Fruitcake is often the last thing left on the dessert table, eyed with suspicion and sometimes even fear. But behind the laughter and the jokes lies a fascinating scientific marvel. Fruitcakes are legendary for their almost supernatural shelf life, outlasting nearly every other holiday treat. Some fruitcakes are aged for years, even decades, their flavors deepening and growing richer with time, like a fine wine or a well-aged cheese. This isn't magic or myth. It's food science at work, perfected over centuries by bakers and home cooks alike. Every ingredient, from jewel-like candied fruits to a generous splash of brandy or rum, is carefully chosen to keep spoilage at bay and lock in flavor. Fruitcake is a living example of ancient food preservation, a tradition born from necessity long before the luxury of refrigeration or modern packaging. Its recipe is a masterclass in making food inhospitable to bacteria, yeasts, and molds, using sugar, alcohol, and dense textures to create a fortress against decay. By understanding fruitcake, we get a glimpse into the chemistry and ingenuity that keeps many of our favorite foods safe and edible for months or even years. It's more than just a holiday treat. It's a link to our past, a symbol of celebration, and a lesson in human creativity and resilience. The secrets of fruitcake preservation reveal how, throughout history, we've learned to outsmart decay and make the most of what we have. Let's explore how this dense, often misunderstood dessert became a symbol of survival, science, and the enduring spirit of tradition. By unwrapping its story, we connect with generations who mastered the art of making food last and discover the remarkable journey of fruitcake through time. The real hero in fruitcake preservation? Sugar, and lots of it. Candied and dried fruits are packed with sugar, replacing water in the fruit's cells. This isn't just for taste, it's a preservation trick. Sugar creates an environment where microbes can't survive, thanks to osmotic pressure. When a microbe lands on candied fruit, water is pulled out of the cell, dehydrating and disabling it. Without water, bacteria and molds can't grow. Food scientists call this water activity, and fruitcake keeps it low. Fresh fruits would add moisture and invite spoilage, but candied fruits lock water away. Even the sugar in the batter helps bind up any remaining moisture. The result, a dense, low-moisture cake where microbes simply can't thrive. That's why fruitcake can last for years. Sugar is its sweet, ruthless shield. Sugar isn't alone. Alcohol is fruitcake's other secret weapon. Classic recipes call for soaking the cake in brandy or rum, not just for flavor, but for preservation. Alcohol is a powerful antimicrobial, killing bacteria and molds by denaturing their proteins. It seeps into every crumb, forming a chemical barrier that stops spoilage in its tracks. Sugar slows microbes down. Alcohol finishes the job. This duo creates a cake that can age for years, growing more complex and remaining safe to eat. Alcohol doesn't add water, so it keeps the cake dry and inhospitable to microbes. That's why fruitcake can be saved for special occasions, even decades later. The synergy of sugar and alcohol is the secret to its legendary longevity. The science behind fruitcake isn't unique, it's everywhere in our food supply. Jams, cereals, cookies, and even cured meats use sugar or salt to keep microbes at bay. High sugar in jam or cereal lowers water activity, just like in fruitcake. Salt does the same for meats and snacks, drawing out moisture and stopping bacteria. Pickles, chips, and pretzels rely on salt for both flavor and preservation. These methods make food last, but they also change it, raising sugar and salt, lowering water and fiber. The result? Convenient, long-lasting foods that are very different from fresh, whole ingredients. Fruitcake is an extreme example, but it shows how preservation shapes what we eat. Our shelves are filled with foods engineered for longevity, not just taste. Understanding this helps us see how preservation science has transformed our diets. Highly preserved foods are easy for our bodies to handle in small doses, and for many of us, they're a convenient part of modern life. But today's diets are often packed with far more sugar and salt than our bodies were ever designed to process on a regular basis. These ingredients are everywhere, hidden in snacks, drinks, and even foods we might not expect. Over time, this constant exposure puts a strain on our metabolism, forcing our bodies to work harder to maintain balance. Excess sugar, which is so effective at preserving cakes and pastries, can disrupt our blood sugar and insulin balance, making it harder for our bodies to regulate energy. Repeated spikes in blood sugar can gradually lead to insulin resistance, a slow, silent process that often goes unnoticed until it causes real problems. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at handling these ingredients, and the effects of years of processed food consumption start to show. What was once fine in youth can cause issues later in life: weight gain, sluggishness, or new sensitivities to foods we used to enjoy without a second thought. The real problem isn't the occasional treat or celebration. It's when processed foods become the norm, crowding out healthier options day after day. The toll is gradual, often invisible, but very real. A slow decline in metabolic health that can affect our energy, mood, and long-term well-being. Understanding the science behind these foods helps us see them for what they are: engineered for shelf life and convenience, but not always for our health or vitality. Moderation is key. The same science that preserves food and makes it last can challenge our biology if we rely on it too much, so it's important to find a healthy balance. By becoming more aware of what we eat, we empower ourselves to make better choices that support our bodies and help us thrive for years to come. What's safe for us can be deadly for our pets. Fruitcake is a prime example. Raisins, harmless to humans, are toxic to dogs, causing kidney failure. Even a small amount can be fatal for a pet. Sugar substitutes like xylitol, safe for people, can trigger a dangerous insulin surge in dogs, leading to seizures or death. Alcohol, a preservative for us, is far more toxic to animals due to their smaller size and different metabolism. A bite of fruitcake can mean disaster for a dog or cat. Our kitchen isn't one size fits all. What nourishes us can poison them. The chemistry of care means knowing these differences and protecting our pets. Food safety isn't just about us, it's about everyone in our homes. Awareness is the first step in keeping our animals safe from hidden dangers. Fruitcake, often the butt of jokes, is actually a masterclass in food chemistry, blending tradition with science in every slice. Its unique combination of ingredients and preparation methods has allowed it to endure for centuries, making it much more than just a holiday treat. The preservation secrets of fruitcake, sugar and alcohol, are echoed in countless foods on our shelves, from jams and jellies to cured meats and even some beverages. These methods were developed out of necessity long before refrigeration and have shaped the way we eat today. While these techniques keep food safe and extend shelf, they also change the nutritional profile of what we eat and can influence how our bodies respond to these foods over time. The same science that preserves food for months or even years can, over time, challenge our health if we rely on it too much. High levels of sugar, salt, and preservatives may contribute to health issues when consumed in excess. For our pets, the risks are even greater. What's safe for us can be deadly for them. Ingredients like raisins, chocolate, and certain artificial sweeteners are harmless to us, but toxic to animals, making vigilance essential. Understanding food chemistry is an act of care for ourselves and those who depend on us, both human and animal. It helps us make choices that support long-term well-being and safety. This knowledge empowers us to choose more whole, fresh foods and to treat preserved products as occasional treats rather than daily staples. It encourages us to read labels, ask questions, and be mindful of what we bring into our homes. The story of fruitcake is a call for awareness and responsibility, reminding us that every bite is shaped by science, history, and personal choice. By learning the science behind our food, we make choices that support our health, protect our loved ones, and foster a culture of mindful eating. In the end, knowledge is the best ingredient in any kitchen, guiding us toward better decisions and a healthier, happier life.